studying the past.
Students, today we will study about the past. That means study about history. History is the study of the past. Look closely at the word history. Does it contain another word? Yes, it does. The word story is hidden in it. So, history is the story of people who lived in earlier times. Now we will discuss the given content in detail. You can pause the video and read one by one. Now we will study why study history. The study of the past is important to understand the present. Since history is a continuous story of one event leading to another, the present cannot be understood without understanding the past. The word history is derived from the Greek language word historia, which means learning or knowing by inquiry. Now, students, do you know history is generally divided into three time periods: prehistory, protohistory, and history. Now, what is prehistory? Prehistory means in which writing had not been invented, hence, there are no written records of this period. Our knowledge of prehistory is based entirely on archaeology. To understand prehistory, archaeologists dig deep into the ground and dig out the remains of the past. These physical remains, such as pots, jewelry, tools, coins, bones, etc., help them to know about the past. Now, proto-history. The proto-history period is the time from which we have written records. However, there are very few and still cannot be read. So, archaeological sources are the main source of information of this period also. An example of this period is the Indus Valley Civilization. Now, what is history? The time period after the invention of writing is known as history. We have written records from this period. Early writing was done on rocks, pillars, copper plates, clay, tablets, palm leaves, and on the barks of the birch trees. Over the years, many of these evidence have been destroyed. The ones that remain, however, are rich source of information. Now we will talk about the geographical framework. Geography has played an important role in the history of India. A large country like India has diverse geographical features. There are high mountains, hot deserts, fertile river valleys, and numerous rivers. The Himalayan mountains in the north act as a natural barrier between India and Central Asia. The passes in these mountains have acted as routes of contact since ancient times. People, soldiers, merchants, traders, travelers, scholars, and others have often crossed these passes and traveled from one place to another. They have brought new ideas, customs, and habits that have made a culture richer. Now, students, do you know why did people first settle near the river valleys? The reason was the river provided sufficient water for all their needs, and the land near the river was very fertile. People could grow crops easily. The river served as a means of transport too. Geography also determines the development seen in a particular area. Places with unfavorable environment are sparsely populated, means less populated, and the culture that develops there is not much affected by external source influences. On the other hand, areas where the environment is favorable are densely populated. More people are living here. Now we are going to study the sources of history. So there are two sources of history: archaeological source and literary source. Now, under the archaeological source, we will study inscription, monuments, artifacts, and coins, and under the literary source we will study the religious and secular source. Now, what are the inscription? The inscriptions are written records engraved on rock, cave, wall, metal, pillars, walls of temples and palaces, and on clay and copper tablets. These are called inscriptions. Very often, kings got the important events in their reign and their achievement inscribed. Why? So that people could read them and remember and know about them. Emperor Ashoka of the Mauryan dynasty put up large number of inscriptions in different parts of his empire. We know so much about him largely through these inscriptions. Then we have the monuments. What are monuments? They are the building of historical importance. They tell us about the period in which they were built. They inform us about social life, religious belief, and the culture and the knowledge of science of people of that period in which the monument were built. Temples, forts, palaces, stupas, and monasteries make the past come alive. Then we have artifacts. What are they? The objects that human made in the past, like pottery, tools, ornaments, metal objects, jewelry, and weapons, are called artifacts. They are found by archaeologists in the course of excavation. They give us a vital clue to the past. Then we come to the coins. Coins are extremely valuable source of information. They tell us about the reign period of the king, the economy of the kingdom, and the extent of the king's empire, and about the trade with other regions. Coins also throw light on the art and religion of earlier times. Literary sources may be divided into two types: religious and secular. Religious literature, writings which deal with the religion, are called religious literature. Many of the books are based on religious theme. The Vedas, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Gita, and the Puranas are important source of information on ancient India. Then the secular literature. These are writings which are not religious, are called secular literature. These include stories, poems, plays, biographies of kings, account of foreign travelers, and book on politics and science. The Arthashastra by Kautilya and the Indika by the Megasthenes, the plays and poems of the Kalidasa, the account of Fahin, and Sangam literature are some of the examples of secular literature written during the ancient period. Now, to sum up, history is the study of the past. It is derived from the Greek word that is historia, which means learning or knowing by inquiry. Then it is divided into prehistory, proto-history, and history. History of India is influenced by geography. The first civilization emerged in the fertile valleys of river Indus. And archaeological and literary source are the two main sources of history. Inscription, monuments, artifacts, and coins are archaeological sources. Literary sources are divided into religious and secular sources. I hope this chapter is now very clear to you, is it?